Saucy Mouth, and today I'm going to show you my great recipe for beer beef sandwiches. And this is a classic. I know lots of people have their own variations of this recipe, but I can't wait to show you today. It actually is something that I'm going to use in my slow cooker here, and then I'm going to let it sit overnight, and then we'll get back to it tomorrow. And I can't wait to have these all day tomorrow. I love making these on a weekend that you get to have the sandwiches for lunch and then dinner or the next day, and leftovers are great. So I can't wait to show you today this recipe on beer beef sandwiches. So to get started for today's recipe of the beer beef sandwiches, we need our roast. And I have a beef roast right here that I picked up at my local grocer. And I have about just under 3.5 pounds of beef. But that's something that you'll want to determine for however many people you're going to be feeding. Now my roast for this, for 3.5 pounds, is I'm expecting to feed about probably 8 people, 6 to 8 people with sandwiches, or you can make a big one and have leftovers, which is also awesome. Then what I'm going to do is I have 2 cans of beer, and some recipes call for 1. I like the beer taste, and so I'm going to add in 2 cans. Another thing with the beer is you can go cheap beer on this. You definitely don't want to use your good beer for this recipe because it doesn't matter. We just want the liquid and that flavor of the beer in there. So to go on for our spices here, I'm going to add in some Italian seasoning, just plain Italian seasoning, and I'm going to use 1/2 tablespoon, and we'll just throw that in there. Alright, then the next one we're going to do is my saucy seasoning. And you can do whatever seasoning salt that you would like, but I'm just going to use my saucy seasoning, and I'm going to do 1/2 tablespoon with that one. That goes in there. Then the other 2 seasoning. I have 1 bouillon cube of beef to give it the beef flavor. Throwing that in. Then I have a packet of Italian seasoning dressing. Now this is the dressing where you mix the olive oil and the vinegar and you get your dressing. Well, I'm going to take a packet of it. And I'm actually going to do 1 tablespoon of this packet. So I have 1/2 tablespoon. We'll do 1 more. And if you want, you can add in the whole packet. I'm just trying to watch the salt intake on this just because we have the bouillon cubes, the saucy seasoning, and now the Italian seasoning packet. But go ahead and put the whole packet in if you'd like. So for the final ingredient I'm going to add in is 1 clove of garlic, and just going to smash it down here and peel it back. And at this point, I don't need it to look pretty, and I guess we'll take this down, the edge off, but I'm just going to very rough chop it. So I have just big sections of a big clove of garlic. I'm just going to throw that in, and we're set. This slow cooker, we are going to put the top on and leave it on low for about 12 hours. That's why we have 2 cans of beer, so there's plenty of liquid in here, and this is going to break down and be absolutely delicious. We have 1 more ingredient to add tomorrow, and then we get to serve it up on bread, and you can always add some Parmesan cheese on top, but that's tomorrow. So I'm going to put this away, and we'll come back, and this will be delicious. Hey guys, it's Saucy Mouth, and now it's in the morning. It's been 12 hours exactly, and I'm going to show you what our beer beef sandwiches are starting to look like. Now at this point, we need to pull apart the meat, and it'll be actually really easy. We're just going to use a fork and put it in there and just scrape it around, and it'll fall apart. It's going to be so tender. The other thing I'm going to add right now is I have 1 jar of pepperoncini peppers, and I'm using a mild one that are already pre-sliced. Some people like to put the whole ones in. I like the sliced ones because then that way, if you're serving it for guests or anything, everybody can have a whole bunch of peppers on their sandwich if they like. Anyways, I'm going to show you this, and then after we put the peppers in, we're going to wait at least an hour before you serve up these sandwiches, but I'm going to keep it at warm, and I'm going to wait till today at lunch and serve mine. All right, we're going to go in for the beer beef sandwiches, and look at that. All those spices in there, and look at the meat is so tender. You just move it around, and it just flakes off. Look at that. Perfect. So that's what I'm going to continue to do with the beef, but also, let's see if I can do this one-handed. I'm going to add in that whole can of the pepperoncinis, if they come out. Oh. Alright, let's grab those peppers. So this is what the meat looks like after you have separated it. See, and the pepperoncinis are already in there, and now we're gonna let it stay. I'm putting mine on at warm just because I'm serving mine in about 4 hours, well actually probably 5 hours later from now. But if you're gonna serve it right up, keep it at low and just serve it right up. But let this sit with the pepperoncinis for an hour, and you'll be golden. Alright guys, it's the time we've been waiting for to try these beer beef sandwiches. So all I have right here is I have like hamburger style buns, and I'm just gonna use those. You can use smaller rolls, you can use whatever kind of bread you would like, but I just like to use the hamburger style. And also I have some Parmesan, fresh Parmesan grated cheese that we can add to top these off. But this is how I like to serve it, just out of the slow cooker like this, and place it on your bun. Just top it off with a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and then close it, and we're ready to eat this. So don't forget to check out my website, www.sausymouth.com. You can find me on Facebook or Twitter. On Twitter, I am The Saucy Mouth. And also, I really hope you try this recipe out and enjoy it. And let's take a bite to see how great this is. Excuse me. Those peppers in there make it so good. Those peppers give it the added extra little heat that it needs, but if you're serving this for kids, you don't have to add those peppers in because it may be a little too spicy for them. But definitely try this out. It's so good, and it's such a good comfort food to make for your family. So until next time, check me out at my website at www.sausymouth.com, and always enjoy. Thanks.